What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a fantastic day at one of my favorite places here, Resorts World. WSB season, I busted the monster stack real quick. You might have already seen that video, or we'll see it soon. Spoiler, whatever. Starting up a new game, 1025, I think, here at Resorts World. I'm buying in for one band of money that may or may not be 10K. And it's gonna be a fun time and playing with a few friends. We'll splash it up. Might have had a few drinks with me. You know, big pots are gonna happen. Let's run it up.
Starting off this 1025 at Resorts World with a few friends. We're playing short-handed to start, playing five-handed, and I buy in for $10,000. This first hand, I pick up pocket queens in the hijack and raise it up to 75. Folds around to the big blind player who's a friend of mine, and he decides to 3-bet to 300. What a nice way to start off this session, waking up with a big hand and getting raised. Time to put in more money into the middle, and we're in position here, so I put in a 4-bet to $750, ready to play a big pot starting off the night. And for $450 more with this raise, he makes the call. We're going to a flop of ace 9-3 2 diamonds, and he starts with a check over to me. Here in 4-bet pots, ace high boards, I certainly am going to bet this one, even though I hate my life with pocket queens. So I bet it really small to $350, and I'm not surprised. He makes the call, which could contain a lot of pocket pairs or just an ace, which would be unfortunate. We're going to a turn which is the 4 of diamonds. So flush draw gets there, and he checks again out of position. Sitting with the queen of diamonds, I guess we have a plan B option now with the flush draw, hoping to just win this at showdown or maybe hit a diamond. I check back. Going to a river now, which comes the king of diamonds. That's a bink for us sitting with the nuts, no longer afraid of this board texture, even though it's an ace and king high board. Anyways, he checks for a third time and definitely got a bet for value. And I'm trying to figure out how much I want to bet. Obviously, trying to get called in this spot. I don't need to blast and go all in and push away any hands that lose to us, which would be all of them, by the way. Anyways, I bet out $700, and this player thinks for a while and ultimately just says to my face that I'm not bluffing in this spot and folds ace queen. So I guess he might be right. I'm not bluffing, but I'll take it down. It's nice to at least win a big pot to start off the night, even though I didn't get paid on this river card.
Quick interruption, because the only way that I've been able to stay fresh and be able to compete in these cash games while playing a ton of tournaments and studying just mainly tournaments is I've been getting a lot of volume in playing cash on Poker Bros just on my phone. I'm sure you're all aware of what Poker Bros is, but there's a club called High Society that I've been a part of, and there's just a ton of cash games, tournaments, PLO, literally anything you can name from 10 cent, 20 cent, all the way up to 10, 20 stakes. So there's constant action running all the time, and it's super easy to work with. So if you want to check it out, Poker Bros app, enter the club and referral ID. You need both of those IDs to be accepted in. Click the link down in the description below, but there's automatic deposits 24/7, and on top of that, cash outs are super easy. And feel free to just browse through everything. There's daily tournaments, daily sit and goes, just daily cash games nonstop. So that's been the only way that I've been able to compete and stay fresh with cash games while playing a bunch of live tournaments all the time. I know you all want these cash game videos, and the only way I can just compete is by playing on my phone. So on my downtime, I'm always on there. Feel free to splash it up. You might see me on the app just playing and degenning it up. Just join High Society by entering the club ID and referral ID, and click the link down in the description below. You'll get more information on how to get set up and join and start playing today.
Following that hand, I pick up Jack 10 offsuit in the low jack and raise it up to 75. We get the button and big blind to call, so 3 ways to a flop of king 5-3, 2 spades and a club. Completely whiffed on this board, action checks all the way around, and see a free turn, which is the ace of clubs. So 2 flush draws on the board, and the big blind, my friend, bets out 125. On a board that should favor me a whole lot more as the pre-flop raiser, and he's betting here, I definitely want to just make the call here. Maybe I can bluff on some runouts. Maybe I can just bink my gut shot straight draw to a queen for Broadway. The other player folds, and we're going to a river heads up. I'm in position, which is nice, and the river is the queen of diamonds. Bink again. Sun running so far, the first 2 hands, and I'm sitting with the nuts again. Anyways, music to our ears. He bets out $200, and it's obviously time to not fold. It's not time to call. It's time to bump up the money in the middle. Sitting with the stone cold nuts, I raise it up to $900. And this player thinks for a long time we're friendly, and he just ends up saying he has no idea what to do. But he ends up thinking of either calling or folding, but he ends up pulling out his number generator on his phone, random number generator, and says that if he spins this, if the phone shows a number from 1 to 50, he makes the call. But if it shows 51 to 100, he folds.
I don't know what to do. Flip a coin.
Pull up the randomizer.
I don't know what to do. Alright, 0 to 50 is call, 51 to 100 is fold.
Okay.
What is this? Did I say this was call?
I don't even remember, honestly.
0 to 50 is call.
Yeah.
Thank you to the RNG for making me an extra $700. I guess I should tip the phone app as well on top of the dealer for giving me the nuts. I'll take this one. I wish I got the RNG on video because that was kind of ridiculous.
They never have bluffs. They're not good.
The guy who just 2x pots it with a bluff back to back.
Okay, I pick up Jack 10 again, but this time the suited variety in the hijack. There is the low Jack raise to $75. Time to battle it out, and I decide to put in a re-raise to $250. Folds around to low Jack player. This is the same player I've been battling the both last two hands, and he actually ends up 4-betting to $750. Playing another 4-bet pot, I have a pretty fun hand to do it with, so let's see a flop in position, and the flop comes 8-6-4 rainbow with 1 spade. He bets out $300, and I'm thinking that with Jack 10 high, I have some backdoor straight and flush draws and 2 overcards. I think it's a good flop to just peel another card on, so I decide on a call. When the turn comes the Queen of Hearts, full rainbow on the board, and he bets again for $500. Another small sizing, and now with a gut shot straight draw and maybe some river cards I could blast and bluff on, I decide to call again for $500. We're in a dicey spot with Jack high. Let's see a river, which comes a 10. Interesting. Now ending up with a pair. I still can't imagine my hand to be good if he were to bet a third time. And he does end up betting a third time. It ends up being a massive one, which is an all-in of about $3,500. This is a pretty miserable spot. Like I said, I wanted to do the bluffing myself. Maybe I wouldn't have bluffed on this 10 on the river here, but yeah, I think I'm handcuffed in this spot to probably just fold a lot of the time. I don't know how I can talk myself into a hero call after this action and aggression. So yeah, I let it go and fold. We're friendly enough to show each other our cards, and he has ace king. Gross. Nice hand to you, Mike. You got this one through on me. Pretty disgusting to see that it was a bluff, and I could have sucked out with my 10 if he just checked it back. So far, this entire vlog has been against the same person, and this one's no different. There's a hijack raise of $75, the button player to my right, Mike, who 3-bets to $250, and I pay pocket 9s in the small blinds. I definitely don't want to just make the call of this 3-bet here for $250. Feel like I'm either handcuffed to another decision of re-raising ourselves or just folding. And you know, I want to put more money in the middle. So I re-raise, playing shorthanded here. I 4-bet to $750 out of position. Action folds back to the button player, who, something that you don't really see that often, he 5-bets, but it's a min raise of $1,500. Well, you don't see 5-bets too often, especially in live poker, and they're usually really strong. So pocket 9s, I'm going to have to throw it into the muck. Doesn't feel like there's a way to win this hand if I make the call and see a flop out of position. So I fold, and because I'm going to lose a lot. And he shows me 1 ace, followed by another. Yep, running into aces. I'm tripping down after these last 2 hands. It's a nice hand to my buddy. But moving on, time to rebound with pocket 5s in the small blind. There's a hijack raise to $75. I decide to call this time in the small blind, and we're going heads up to a flop of 9-6-6 rainbow. I check it over to him on a pretty innocent flop for pocket 5s, and he bets out $100. Okay, sure. For $100, I'm happy to make the call and see a turn, which is the Queen of Diamonds. Brings in a backdoor flush draw. I check once again, and he bets out $250 now. I think at this point, it should be an easy spot to just let go of my pocket 5s, but thinking he might have some bluffs, thinking that I could try to win it somehow in some way. I'm here to battle, I guess, playing shorthanded. I make the call once again. Well, the river comes a disastrous 9. I'm now counterfeited, playing the entire board, and there's no way for me to win this hand besides bluffing into the middle. And I think that if there's someone to have a 9, it's going to be more likely me in the small blind versus this player. So I decided to fire out a bet here, sitting with 5 high in the board. I fire out $800. There's, like I said, no other way to win besides him folding, but he goes deep into the tank and thinks about this decision for a while. Doesn't look happy or comfortable, which is at least a win on my part to a certain degree. But now, trying to win the hand, he needs to fold, and he ends up calling with pocket kings. I show my 5s and tell Chris, nice, fair catch. He watches the vlog, so nice hand to you. Nice call with kings. I burned a couple $100 extra on fire. Next hand to go with ace queen offsuit in the hijack. There's a low jack raised to $75, and with a good hand, you already know I'm bumping up the action. I raise it up to 250, and this low jack player makes the call. So this time we're in position, and usually you win hands when you're playing in position. In the flop comes ace king queen rainbow. You also, side note, you win hands when you flop 2 pair. He checks it over to me, and obviously great flop for me. I bet small, $125. Not sure really what I can get called by, but here we are with 2 pair. He makes the call for $125. When the turn comes a brick 4 of diamonds, he checks once again, and it's time to size up a little bit. I want to build a pot with a strong hand, and hopefully he has like a hand like king queen, which would be a huge cooler. Anyways, I bet out $700, and once again, he doesn't take too long before flicking in a call of $700. So this pot's building. Let's try to get it all. The river is the 2 of diamonds, so that doesn't change a single thing. He checks for a 3rd time, and betting for value, I bet pretty big on the turn, and he called, and he didn't care about it. I'm going to bet pretty big once again, $1,800, but he folds pretty quickly, basically a snap fold, so I don't know if he was on some draw. Maybe he just had a weak 1 pair that wasn't going to call 3 streets. Still nice to be on the rebound after my punts with pocket 5s. I'll take it down. All right, this next hand is quite the doozy. I have 10-9 of hearts in the small blind, and there's a +1 raise to $75. Action folds all the way around to me, and usually in these small blind spots, I like to amp up the aggression if I'm going to enter the pot. And this time's no different. I 3-bet to $300 here. I think 10-9 suited is a really fun hand to play. And when he makes the call, I'm going to battle it out. I'm out of position, like I said. You win a lot of pots when you're in position. Out of position, not so much. And this time the flop comes king 8-3, 2 spades, and a heart. So I basically flop nothing besides a backdoor heart draw. But on a king high board, so I'm going to try to take a stab at this one, hopefully take it down. I bet $150, and he is not going anywhere. He doesn't fold, which would have been very ideal for us. He makes the call. When the turn comes the 7 of spades, very interesting card now as we improve to an open-ended straight draw, but the flush draw does get there. So I'm going to start with a check. I think all of my other hands that I would play this way would want to check on this card that completes a spade. And now he decides to bet $350. I don't really want to call with just 10 high, so I want to throw that option out of the equation here. And I also just don't want to fold, improve to a straight draw. So I feel like sometimes when I check raise, it's usually going to be super strong, but on the off chance, I also need to have some air as well. So I decided to do it. I decided to check raise in this spot because YOLO. I size up to 1,300. Pretty ambitious because I don't have a spade in my hand. It would be much better of a bluff with a spade. But for 1,300, he decides on a call. Okay, very dicey spot. And the river now is the ace of spades. 4 spades out there. I don't have a single one. And am I suicidal enough to bluff on this board without a spade? Yeah, I just might be. I feel like a lot of hands that I'm going to check raise with is going to want to bet small because I'm going to have a lot of flushes. But anyways, I decided to size to $750. It's really small compared to the size of the pot. And I am praying for a fold. This guy's thinking about it for quite some time before ultimately ending on a call. I show the 10 high. He shows 10-9 of spades. He had 10-9 himself, just a much stronger variety of it on this board. He turned the flush and ended up making a hero call on the river with the 10 of spades. It feels like I definitely could have gotten this bluff through, but yeah, I've torched some more thousands of dollars on fire with this bluff. And let's rebound now, because this time we're actually playing in position. I have ace jack diamonds in the low jack. There's an undergun raise to $75, and I'm bumping up the pressure again. Suited aces, especially Broadway ones, I want to raise and put more money in the middle. So I 3-bet to 250. This undergun player makes the call. So we're going heads up to a flop of queen, queen, 5, 2 hearts, and a diamond. He checks it over to me, and I feel like my hand connects with the queen a lot, and also with backdoor diamonds to improve on. I decide to bet small to $100, and he finds a check raise to $400. Mind you, this is certainly a strong opponent, one that can be bluffing a lot of the time here. So for 300 more, backdoor, diamond draws, and ace high, I make the call. The turn is a good one in the 3 of diamonds. Improved now to the flush draw. He starts off with a check, which is really interesting. I'm happy to take the free card because I guess ace highs are also going to be pretty good as well. With decent showdown, I check. The river is now the 9 of clubs, so I bricked the diamonds, which is unfortunate. And once again, this opponent, he jammed with ace king last time. He decides to jam again for 3,500. What, dude? Sitting with ace high, I definitely think this is a really silly pot and pretty dumb, all things considered, with how this hand played out. And I mean, I'm thinking about it for a while because I feel like ace high could certainly be good here. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm folding the winner. But obviously, it seems pretty suicidal to hero call a $3,500 all in with ace high. And with diamonds in my hand, as I want him to have some diamond draws as well. So I just fold. I fold the ace high. And what did you know? I folded the winner. Talk about it after this hand, and he has king jack offsuit. I get owned, but king high is going to beat ace high in this scenario. I've been getting crushed the last couple of hands, but one last hand to bail me out potentially. We're playing an 8-way $50 PLO double board bomb pot. That's quite the mouthful, but I peel my hand in the big blind position of ace 5, 10, 7. Not super pretty, but the first flop comes 5, 6, deuce, 2 clubs and a diamond. Flop number 2 comes ace, 5, deuce, rainbow. So I have top 2 pair on one board and 1 pair on the second one. Action checks around to the middle position player who bets out $250. The cutoff decides on a call, and here I'm out of position. I feel like I can't get away just yet. There's a lot of turn cards that could help me, or I guess really not help me. Anyways, I make the call for 250 as well, and we're going now 3 ways to a turn with a pot building. Turn number 1 comes the 7 of spades. Turn number 2 comes the ace of clubs. Improved to 2 pair on the top one, and now with the nuts on the bottom board. There's a lot happening now for my hand. Like I said, there's a lot of cards that could help us or hurt us, and these ones certainly helped us. Action now checks to the cutoff player who bets $800. And I'm thinking that I'm sitting with the nuts with a full house on the bottom board and with plenty of equity on the top board. I think I'm just going to have to go with my hand. Considering that we're also not playing super deep now when he bets out $800, I decide to bump it up and check raise to 3,000. Worst case scenario, I'm getting it all in with the nuts on one board, although the nuts can change a lot in PLO. The middle position player folds, and the cutoff player goes all in for a hair more, maybe 3,500 give or take. And I'm calling. We're off to the races. He has ace, king, 10, 8. He has a flush draw on both boards and a higher full house draw on the bottom one. This is going to be a huge sweat here. The rivers come the 10 of spades and then the 4 of clubs. I end up scooping. But if you zoom in on the board, here's the wild thing. If those exact river cards come, but switched boards, I get scooped myself. This is just some pure ridiculous run good in a very gambly game and spot. And it's nice to be on the right side of this run good here, because after being absolutely destroyed early on in the session, this PLO double board bomb pot just bailed me the hell out. I went from deep into the red and into the black after scooping a monster pot in this game. And shortly, the table just breaks. So don't play any more poker. It's nice to end off on a high note.
Oh, holy shit. Absolutely ridiculous session. Late nights, fun times. It was a fun group. and we played for a few hours and just swings up and down, punted, I guess, a little bit, down like 5K at the max. PLO double word bomb pots. They certainly bailed my ass out. Unfortunate that it was against the buddy, but all things considered, on my side of things, I basically broke even. I was in the game for 20,000, out of the game for 2218. Profit of 218 freaking dollars. All thanks to that double word bomb pot hand. After that hand, the game just like snap broke and it was late and it's time for everyone to go home. So there's that. Somehow survived. I thought I played okay. Some bluffs didn't work out, and that is kind of what happens when you bluff sometimes. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the cash games. Nice little break into the WSOP series because it's been a lot of tournaments so far, and it's nice to get this video and session in there. It's always nice to basically break even anyways. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, let me know what you guys think about these cash game sessions sprinkled in with tournaments. I'll see you guys in the next one.